Liberty, let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea.
Thank you so much.
That's exactly my point. There is no gathering of black people in a church, a school, a fraternity, a sorority, a community meeting. And when Rochelle did that and stood up, see, that's because that's a cultural marker that tells us that information is being passed on generation after generation. So the education, our liberation education, our humanity education is our responsibility. Nobody else's. It's ours. Nobody's coming for black people. We will have friends and allies. But if we don't do it, this is the point Rochelle was making a little while ago about it is up to us to decide who we're going to be. Are we going to be full human beings or not? Are we going to be full citizens or not? And then we have to make it happen.
And we also cannot keep settling.
Yes.
We were so happy that we won at the Supreme Court in 1954 that we thought that was enough. And then we literally let folks not teach our kids black history or any of that wonderful stuff that they need to know because we were just glad they were in the room. You know, Hamilton, be in the room where it happens. It's not enough to be in the room where it happens if it's not happening about you. So, sir? No, he's with us.
Cool. All right. So we're talking about anniversary. We're talking about the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. But another very, very important anniversary, 50th anniversary, just passed by actually in Detroit. It was the 50th anniversary of the Provisional Government of the Republic of New Africa. Over 500 activists came together with the idea that we can and must create our own black nation, or we say New African nation, as a solution to the challenges that we face in this country called America. A Declaration of Independence was signed. A constitution was later written, a code, a flag, and they began to work on the idea of having South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana as declared the Republic of New Africa, our own nation. And that formation and those people have continued from that point, 1968, up until the present time right now. We just celebrated the 50th anniversary in Detroit, where that first meeting was held at the Charles Wright Museum, Timbuktu Academy. So I guess I don't know if it really was a question, more so a comment, but I just wanted to have a conversation about that as a viable option for our people to really consider us having our own nation state, just like other human beings stand up and do all around the world. Feel that it's important that we control our destiny. And the only way we can really control our destiny is if we have our own nation state, just like Ghana or Jamaica or any other nation in the world, Canada or Mexico.
Thank you for the question.
Our struggle is, I think it's unfolding and we don't know yet what it's going to be. Right now, we don't have the capacity for that, but I think we have to have the imagination. How do you see yourself as a self-governing people? And one of the destructive psychological effects of slavery is that this notion that you cannot govern yourself. It's the same notion of why people don't vote. 10% of the people vote in Detroit. That's a question of the psychological condition of the people there that is not going to make a difference. The current city mayor in Atlanta just won by less than 1,000 votes in the runoff, right? Donald Trump won the presidency by 77,000 votes spread over Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. 77,000 votes is the difference between where we are today and where we would have been. Not that the other candidate was the best candidate either, but definitely this would not be happening. But I think your point, and actually that first meeting of the Republic of New Africa, I was there in 1968. I was growing up in Detroit. It was held in Aretha Franklin's father's church, who was a prominent Baptist minister, but still supported the Black Power movement and opened his church up to let this group of nationalist thinking black people from all over the country come and ponder the question, can black people govern themselves? The answer is yes. We don't have the proof of it yet. But the answer is yes, but the question of where we're going is unsettled yet. That's why it's really a concept of, or question of fighting for our human rights, right, as human beings on this planet, fighting for our civil rights as citizens in this country until something different happens, and fighting for self-determination, the right to decide our own destiny.